Hey out there in TV land, it's your boy Dustykatt back here in the kitchen. But whose kitchen is this? Wouldn't you want to know? Yes, we're going to bring back the Cantering Cook again. I know I let it die over the summertime, but now we're going to do it again. We're going to do at least one a month. Why? Because I now have a co-host. That's right. My co-host I'd like to bring in here, Iron Chef Lynx. Come join me. How you doing?
Hello.
Hello. Say hi to camera.
Hello.
Hi, this is Iron Chef Lynx, my very good friend Lisa. She is a chef from a very prestigious school, the Culinary Institute of America. Not only is it very difficult to get in that school, it's very difficult to stay in that school.
And it's difficult to graduate that school.
And you was a graduate.
I is.
She is a graduate. She's got more cooking utensils around here than I can shake a stick at. So, plus it's a much bigger kitchen. So we're going to be doing our show from here, from the location from now on. Hopefully we're going to be one of these a month, so stay tuned. But tonight, as you can see, it's Hearths warming, isn't it?
It is.
It is Hearths warming. So what's the best thing to have on Hearths warming Eve?
Pumpkin bread.
Pumpkin bread, that is right. Pumpkin bread is nice, soft, delicious with a little butter, a little hot chocolate, the marshmallows.
Or mulled wine.
Or mulled wine, absolutely. So we're going to teach you how to do a really easy pumpkin bread recipe, which you can put in anything you want just to make it just a little bit better for you. So for that, we need to get some prep work done. We're going to tell you a bit about pumpkins. We're going to tell you a bit about what we're putting in this. We're going to do it right about now. Okay, Lise, now that we've got all of our accoutrements out here, why don't you tell us a bit about pumpkins and why we want to roast our own pumpkin versus buying a can of this gooch.
Well, I will tell you, pumpkins, by the FDA requirements, don't have to be what you think of as a pumpkin. It can be any winter squash, and all it will say is pumpkin. If you really want to guarantee you know what's in your bread, picking up a pumpkin isn't that difficult to roast. And my personal favorites are not jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. Those are great for carving, not for eating. These puppies here are heirloom pumpkins. You can find them at farmers markets. You can find them at a lot of grocery stores now because it's become popular.
Yeah, a lot of Sprouts or the higher end grocery stores will have.
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods, Full Paycheck will have heirloom pumpkins for cooking. Make sure it's for baking. So you don't want to use jack-o'-lanterns for that because one, they taste horrible. Ugh. You don't want to do that.
They're all fiber.
They're all fiber and nothing else. So you don't have any nice sweetness to them. So you want heirloom pumpkins, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Now, this little guy here is called a fairy tale. They're a very old breed. And what's neat about them is that they're kind of tan on the outside. They are brilliant orange inside.
Yes.
It's also a very fine grain meat, and it's naturally very sweet. So you can cut back on sugars.
Awesome. So with that, we've actually started roasting our pumpkin. As you can see, we've cut this one in half. The other one's over there in the oven right now. It's been in there for about half an hour. Takes how long to about roast a pumpkin this size?
Depending on how thick the flesh is, it's about between 30 and 75 minutes.
30 and 75 minutes, right?
Around 400 degrees, you put it in a big roasting pan, put a little bit of water on the bottom of it, keep it so that the flesh side is on the bottom, pop it in there, and then check it every so often.
And how do we know when it's done?
The poke test.
The poke test.
Very hard right now. I can go in the oven and do this, and it will indent the pumpkin, and that means it's cooked.
That means it's cooked. So what we're going to do now is we're going to wait for our pumpkin to cook, and once we get that done, we're going to show you how to process that pumpkin into pumpkin gooch, right?
Yes.
Pumpkin gooch.
Puree.
Puree?
Puree.
Puree? I thought pumpkin gooch was like the professional thing for it.
I thought the gooch was the stuff that you just got rid of.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah.
Let's find out. I got it.
Oh, good.
I got the gooch. This is the gooch,
the gooch,
which is what you took out from the inside. Ooh, the gooch, the brains, the yummies. But you know what? These seeds are good to eat. Don't get rid of these.
Yeah, they're actually quite healthy.
Quite healthy for you. You can actually roast these, a little salt, nibble them up. They're actually better for you than popcorn.
A little bit of cayenne with the salt.
A little bit of
If
cayenne
you want to
with
have
salt.
a little savory.
Yep. So you can just basically take them all off of this stuff, wash the rest of the brains away, roast them up in a pan, and you know what? You can actually put them on top of your bread.
Yep.
So pumpkin gooch. We're gonna make puree. So come back for that.
Yes.
Okay, Chef Lynx, tell us a bit about everything that's going to be going in our bread.
Well, this is a quick bread. Quick breads do not require yeast, nor do they require kneading. However, it does need some leavening agents, so it will rise. We have baking powder and baking soda. They both have slightly different reactions to the flour. So in this case, we need both of them because pumpkin is a very dense vegetable. And mixing everything together, it just will not have enough strength to rise without both of these.
Awesome. So, again, we're going to be going with some spices. Shoot, what are we going to be putting in this one?
Oh yes, spices. The flavors of autumn: cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, allspice, cloves.
Wait. Why do we need all these spices if we have something that's called allspice?
Well, allspice is a berry, and it actually helps accentuate certain other spices. It has a flavor similar to cinnamon and ginger, but more importantly, it has a slight MSG-like capability. So it will enhance the other spices.
That's interesting. And of course, you can use pre-made spice like this, but in a baking situation, you really want to make your own from, say, the raw form, right? Like cinnamon sticks are just, oh, smell that. Oh my God. Oh, yep. That is awesome right there. Now, if you wanted to actually make your own cinnamon from a cinnamon stick, you would take a rasp type of implement and just run it across to get your cinnamon powder. Okay, you can do this with nutmeg, you can do this with cinnamon, you can do this with the allspice to get actual freshest of fresh.
Yes.
Types
the
of
smaller
stuff.
items like the allspice and cloves, you can also use a coffee grinder.
Yes, coffee grinders are awesome for making your own spices.
Yep.
But we're going to be using the pre stuff because we don't have some nutmegs right now.
Now, and also in this case is if you are in a rush, don't cook very often, you can go and buy these. I would recommend finding the higher qualities. Farmers markets have a couple of people now who are actually blending their own spices, and they're very, very good. This is Penzeys. They have a website you can go to. They also have local locations. There's one here in Silicon Valley. These are high quality spices and need to be kept in a cool, dry, dark environment when you're not using them.
Yes, and make sure they're glass jars because it holds in all of that really great awesomeness for longer than plastic.
Yes, especially since spices invariably all have an oil that's associated with that spice, and glass keeps the oil in instead of evaporating it.
Cool. So, now that we know what's going to be going into our bread, let's process some pumpkin.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, look at that thing. Woohoo! Oh yeah, plenty ready to be processed.
Yep.
All right, let's get this going. Oh, it smells awesome. I can eat it right now.
Well, here's the first part.
What do we do?
Very, very careful.
Very, very careful.
We need to tip it over
Uh-huh.
so that all the heat that's underneath this will come out without you getting hurt.
Yes. Ooh, there goes the steam.
As you can see, it has stayed very, very dark orange.
Yes. Oh, it's pretty good already.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I can make a pumpkin pudding with this.
Ooh, pumpkin pudding. That might be another video.
Yeah.
So, how do we process it?
Well, you need to get a cup.
A cup. A cup.
A
Go for a cup.
Or in this case, get the ladle.
Ladle.
Something to scoop.
Ladle.
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 Sorry, we were off camera there for a minute. All right, we need to scoop this out. Huh?
We need to scoop it out. So, hang on. Last one up.
Woohoo! Oh, wow. Nice. This is going to take a bit. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a short break. We're going to scoop out this pumpkin and we're going to process it on the next stage and we'll be back in just a second. Oh, that's so good. So good. I'm telling you people, you have to cook with a chef. Trust me, at least once in your life. Because drinking chocolate is way better than that hot chocolate packet stuff. But that's going to be another show. We're going to talk about that soon. But now we've got
Pumpkin.
pumpkin. Lots and lots of yummy pumpkin. But now it's all stringy and stuff. Now that we got it out of there, it's still hot.
It's still
What are we
hot.
going to do with this now?
We need to puree this.
We need to puree this. What are we going to do with that?
Stick blender.
Magic wand.
The magic wand. Very cathartic.
Very, very cathartic. Of course, this is going to take a bit of time to get this mushed enough. So we're going to go ahead and drink our chocolate, and we're going to mush this up. And we're going to let you guys, why don't you guys go make some hot chocolate? Because I'm sure it's probably cold where you are.
Yeah.
Even though it's like in the 60s here in San Jose, California.
We actually got it down to 45 at one point.
Yeah, 45 at one point. But we're going to go ahead and finish this pureeing, and we'll be back in just a minute.
I think we got it.
I think we got it.
Yep.
So, yes, we don't want to lose any of that pumpkin goodness. Look at that. Look at that. I just gooped myself, but there you go. Yes, that's beautiful pumpkin puree. But there's one little problem with this. It's full of water. Way too much liquid in this.
Yeah, you really want to have it firmer when you want to use it.
Yeah, so what are we gonna do?
We're going to drain it.
Drain it through the cheesecloth so we can get some of that liquid out of there. All right, so should we scoop it or should we, yeah, scoop it.
Start with scooping.
Start with scooping, yes.
Yeah.
You can always pour it later. We don't want to make too much of a mess, really.
No.
All right, so you get at least a bit of that in there, like that. All right, about for now. And then you can either do it as Chef Lisa is doing. Squeeze all that. Look how much is coming out of there. Look at that. So we're going to go ahead.
The other way of doing this is if you really don't want to get your hands messy, or in this case, the pumpkin is still very warm, use a weight.
Yep.
Just let it sit.
Just let it sit and it'll get all that liquid out of there. So we're gonna go ahead and drain this pumpkin and get it ready for cooking, and we'll be back again in just a couple minutes. But in that time, I'm gonna drink my chocolate.
Enjoy your chocolate.
Enjoy your chocolate. Oh, so good. Okay, and now we've got lots of pumpkin puree right here. The last of our pumpkin puree is right here, so that the weight can come off. The last of it. Take out our pumpkin. Put it in there. Now, yes, we'll get to that in a second.
Yes.
We don't want to lose this. Why?
It's full of sugar.
That's right, it's full of sugar and pumpkin goodness. You can actually make stuff with this, so you don't want to get rid of it. So, you want to take what was left in your roasting pan and this, put it in your saucepan, and boil that down. Then you're going to put what in it?
You put in some ground cinnamon, a little bit of ground ginger, and maybe a touch of vanilla if you want, and a little bit more sugar to taste. But you want to wait until you've boiled it down to about half before you just start putting the sugar in.
Right.
Because you'll find it's actually very sweet to start with.
And what do we end up with when we get done with that?
Pumpkin syrup.
Pumpkin syrup. Oh, and that will go on chocolate ice cream, it'll go on waffles, it'll go on anything. So, don't lose that stuff. That's awesome. So, that's our pumpkin.
That's the pumpkin.
That's the pumpkin in here. We ended up with a lot more pumpkin than we need, but that's awesome. Because then you can make more bread, you can make pumpkin cookies, you can make pumpkin waffles,
Pumpkin pudding.
pumpkin pudding, you can make all kinds of pumpkin stuff. And this stuff, frozen, will keep for
It will keep for about a year.
about a year.
Yeah.
So every fall, you could do this with 2 or 3 pumpkins, and come summertime, if you want to make a pumpkin bread, or you want to make anything pumpkin, then you got some. Isn't that cool? That's trash. Gone. Look how much, that was only half of that pumpkin, and we got, geez, 4 cups, a quart of pumpkin out of half of that thing. You still got half to roast. So you could freeze that up and have it for summer. That would be awesome. Now, we have all of our stuff ready to start making our
Pumpkin bread.
pumpkin bread. So, getting a shot, honey. So, we'll be back in a minute, and we'll start
Yes.
throwing this together, and then we'll put the pumpkin bread in the oven, And pretty soon now, we're gonna have some deliciousness. See you in a minute.
Yep.
We are not done doing stuff with our pumpkin before we make our bread. Oh my God. There's so many things you can do with a pumpkin, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What's next?
What's next is we have pumpkin seeds.
Pumpkin seeds.
These have been already dried, and we're now going to go ahead and roast them.
Yep.
First, a little oil.
And canola, right?
Canola. You
Yep.
want the lightest flavor. Grapeseed oil works great, but you don't want to use something like olive oil unless you want to make them very savory.
Yeah.
A little oil there.
Gusha, 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 gusha.
Gusha gusha.
Line your pan.
Line your pan. Spread them out.
Don't bother getting oil on your hand. That's fine. Just spread them out. Get a one layer if you can, like that. Of course, you want to do a little bit of salting with that. So make sure that's kosher salt. Eat your heart out, Alton Brown. That goes in the oven for how long?
For about 15 minutes.
About 15 minutes. You'd think we were addicted to chocolate or something. Now, after all of that we've done, we're ready to make some bread.
Pumpkin bread.
Pumpkin bread, yes. So, we're gonna make a double batch. This will make 6 very small pie tins that you can give away to your friends or just keep them to yourself or take them for lunch. They're really nice.
They freeze very well.
They freeze very well. So, chef, give me the technique.
All right. First of all, when you're dealing with bread, you want to put the dry ingredients in first and then the liquids last. So the eggs are going to go in last.
Very.
But first, we have pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
2 cups.
Your sword.
Out, out, out. Good. Get all that pumpkin goodness. Do, 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 do.
Remember, clean as you go.
Yes, always clean as you go. Next, we have flour. And how much flour do we have here for the double batch?
We have the double batch, so 1 3/4 cups of flour twice is 2 1/4.
Yeah.
2 1/4 cups. I'm doing the washing. You do that.
Okay. Next, we have sugar. Looks like a lot, but it is actually a double batch. So, I like using unrefined sugars.
Yes.
The less refined it is, the healthier it is for you. And so in this case, we have azúcar, unrefined sugar.
Yes. Straight from cane. So sugar, we got. Let's see, where's the sugar at? 1.5 cups is our thing, so we have 3. 3 cups for the double batch.
Now, once you get used to actually making it, you'll find out how much you can cut that back.
Yeah.
All right.
And we're just going to fold this together. We don't need to use a blender. We just fold it together. You don't want to cause a lot of gluten. You don't want to actually mash it too much because it makes it really stiff and hard, and then you get a really hard bread, and you don't really want that.
And in this case, because we're doing a quick bread and we've got the leavening already there, we don't need to try and build the gluten up.
Right.
So you just fold. Okay. Time for the spices.
Spices. Okay.
Clove.
Clove. So for cloves, in this we need a 1/4 teaspoon, so a half.
A half teaspoon.
Half teaspoon.
Allspice.
Allspice. So for this, we need a 1/4 teaspoon, so a half.
And we've got nutmeg.
Nutmeg. So nutmeg, we need 1/2 teaspoon, so there's a whole one right there. Wait.
And cinnamon.
And cinnamon. Cinnamon, we got what? 1 teaspoon, so we got 2.
2.
Right there.
And now we put in the leavening.
Leavening.
It's a little salt.
No, that's not salt.
No, that's the salt.
That's the salt over there.
Okay.
That's
No,
baking soda.
This is the baking soda.
Baking soda. Baking soda, 1 teaspoon goes 2.
Baking powder.
Baking powder, we got a half, so a full teaspoon.
Yep.
And of course, salt,
Salt.
kosher please. And kosher salt would be a half, so we got a full teaspoon there. Mix it up.
Mix it all up. Now it looks very dry, but as soon as we put the eggs in, it will all get nice and moist.
Should I juggle? Probably not. That would not be good.
Not unless you got more eggs.
Not unless, well, we got a whole 12.
I still have to make pumpkin pie.
That's true. We got to have a pumpkin there.
Yeah. And that takes a lot of eggs.
Takes a lot of eggs. I'm coming over for chocolate. From now on.
All right.
Okay. 2 eggs.
2 eggs.
All of them. Whites, yolks, and everything.
I thought 2 eggs was for a single batch.
No? You're right. We need 4 eggs. Oh my god. Read the directions, Dusty. Okay.
The recipe is written for a 1.
Yes.
Because it's easier to always figure out what you're going to finally put in than write it and then confuse yourself.
Yes. So.
1.
1. 2.
Ni.
That's Japanese.
Yes.
I'm trying to learn Japanese myself.
Oh, okay.
Okay. 4.
Ichi, ni, son, yon.
Yon. We have yon eggs in here for all my Japanese fans.
Who will applaud you because you didn't use the other name.
Yeah, it's true.
The number 4 is actually a bad luck sign in Japan.
Yes. Now we're just folding it in. We don't need to use a blender. We just fold that all in so it becomes a really nice
Mass.
dough.
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 Is a
Dough.
quick bread. Dough.
Yes.
Here, why don't you do that?
Let's do this.
That way you can see it better.
Let's see it. Look at that.
Get nice and stable. Oh yeah, that's looking good.
Looking awesome.
Time to check the seeds.
Check those seeds. Okay, Chef, I think I'm done.
I think you're done too.
That's awesome. Remember, when it gets to about this stage, stop.
Don't continue.
Don't continue because you'll start putting in glutinous crud and it'll get all hard and you don't want that. No, so we're done with that.
You don't need to beat it to make air.
Don't
No
beat
need
it to
that.
death. No. Okay, so pans. Shouldn't we like a non-stick these?
Yes.
How do you like to non-stick your pans?
I like using real butter.
Real butter.
Real butter.
Real butter.
Real
Better
butter.
get some butter. You guys like this long shot that's going on? We're not stopping all the time. Tell me whether you like the stop or the non-stop, and we'll do it for the next one.
Grab some of that.
Grab some of
and-
that. How am I supposed to grab it?
Dummy. Just do it.
I'm just making sure. We used to do this in the restaurant when I was working as a prep cook. Obviously, she does too. So we just want to make sure. So just take some of that butter.
You also make sure your hands are clean.
Yeah, make sure your hands are clean, and just
run
it
around.
around in there. Because these are foil, don't like get them out of shape. Just
Yeah, don't bend them.
Don't bend them
Just
a lot.
Hold them very lightly.
hold them very lightly. Run your butter in there.
And just make sure you got it pretty well coated.
Yep. Not too much, not too little.
Not too much, not too little.
You get that one.
I got that one.
Of course, you could use your spray pan or any of those types of things if you want, but butter is going to make it taste a little better, at least in my opinion. So now we get all those. So we got all of those
Also,
buttered up.
invariably, when you're using your fingers with this, you're going to put a thicker coating on than the spray pan does.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so we're all done.
All done.
I'm done with that. All right,
Now,
now
cookie sheet.
cookie sheet.
1 each cookie sheet.
Yes,
Place the pans on the cookie sheet.
on a cookie sheet. Probably fill them first. There you go. Yeah,
Oh, let me go get you a ladle.
give me a ladle.
That'll be a lot easier for
Yeah.
that.
Ladle it.
With our ladle.
Woohoo! Ladle.
Makes it also easier to count the size.
Absolutely. I'm getting it everywhere that it should be.
Cooking should be messy.
Cooking should be messy, yes, because you're having fun if you're making a mess.
Yes. And you want to have it just a little bit above half size.
A little bit above half, and you're done. So that's that one.
Yep.
Now, we almost went too far because we didn't talk about what you can put in your bread.
Oh yes,
Yes.
didn't put
We didn't put
nuts in there.
our nuts. We have walnuts and we have pecans.
You put this one back in.
Yeah.
And that way we'll have 3
We'll have
without.
3 with and 3 without. So I'm gonna put that back in.
Because some people don't like nuts.
I know.
Other people are allergic to nuts.
That's because they're nuts. Or allergic nuts. But people who don't like nuts that aren't allergic to nuts are just nuts.
Or just nuts.
Just crazy.
Yeah.
Because nuts are awesome.
Because sometimes you feel like a nut.
And sometimes you don't. See why I hired her? My God, this is gonna be so awesome. Keep coming back to the show. So, we're gonna go ahead and take that to the side.
Take this aside and dump in nuts.
Dump in
about
nuts.
half of that because we're only using half
Yeah,
of
we're
that.
only about half of that, so we're gonna,
You can put
Okay.
in nuts, you can put in dried fruit if you want a little
Oh
variation.
yeah, raisins?
Yeah.
Raisins would be awesome. Little walnut, little pecan.
Some raisins, or some dried cranberries
Dried
because they go
cranberries.
great with pumpkin.
Oh yeah. So just mix that.
Mix them all in.
Mix them all in. Not too much is enough.
Yep, it's just a faster.
Just enough to have a bit of nut in each bite.
And
There
now
we
we
go.
can
There we go. That looks awesome. So let's do it again.
I will hold this.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh. If we have any leftovers, just a little bit, we'll just top up each of the pans.
Or we have a last one.
We have a last little one too. That could be
Our display.
our display bread. There you go.
Yes, coming soon, the
Coming
Canterlot
soon.
Bakery.
Yep. Have to,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have to give this one to Pony Joe. Yeah, we got enough for one more. I think
One more?
we'll butter that up,
Let's butter it up.
for our show.
And you want to scoop this out too.
Yes. Oh, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to you in a minute. Shush.
It's ready.
There we go. All of it. All of it. Okay.
Yep.
Now, we're ready to put that in the oven.
For
That's a
about
beautiful thing.
25 to 30 minutes.
25-30 minutes. We'll be back. And here we go. We've got our breads are done. Beautiful. We've got our pumpkin
Roasted.
seeds roasted. Yummy, yummy. Very nice. And we've got our pumpkin drizzle.
Drizzle.
Look at that. So saucy. Now, it's time to eat.
Mm-hmm. That's okay.
Oh, that's so good. I'll put the recipe for the syrup also in down low, and the recipe for the bread. A little bit of butter.
A little bit of butter.
Some for you later.
Thank you.
Yes. I like end pieces. Get more bread that way. So, from us to you, happy hearths warming. I hope
Happy heartwarming.
hope you come back to see us again. And down there, you know what? In the comments, what do you want to see us make? You know, let us know. Maybe you'll see your recipe in the next show. Oh, that's so good. See you next time here on the Cantering Cook. Good night.